in the 2022 Toyota GR Supra 2.0. It comes in at about $48,000 with the optional tech package that gives us blind spot monitor, radar, cruise control. But is this 2-liter 4-banger worth it if you can get the 3-liter? Today we'll find out. There's a lot of dogs right here. Which dog are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the GR Corolla? Are you gonna get the 2.0 Supra? Are you gonna get the GR86? Or are you gonna get the 6-speed manual GR Supra? Today we're gonna focus just on this car, and let's just start with the exterior. The exterior of this car doesn't look much different from the $10,000 more expensive 3.0 Supra. This vehicle looks amazing, especially from far away where you can't see all the fake vents and whatnot. 18-inch wheels here instead of the 19s in the 3.0, which, I mean, these 18s still look amazing. The brakes up front are slightly smaller. You also only get like single piston, I believe, compared to the 4-piston brakes on the 3.0. I think the mirror caps are finished a little bit different here on the 2.0 than the 3, and then the exhaust finishers are slightly different on this vehicle compared to the more expensive one. When you get on the inside of the Supra, there are very little differences. I don't have heated seats in this, for example, or heated steering wheel like you can get on the 3.0. I don't have the option of leather seats in here, even though these are plenty comfortable for me. The bolstering's really tight, so at 195 pounds, when I get into this vehicle, I feel squeezed, and then I get used to it as I sit in it longer. But yes, it's very tight, so if you're a bigger person, make sure to see if you fit in here. Visibility at 6'1", my eyesight is like right at the ceiling level of the window, kind of looking down in this vehicle. The mirror takes up a lot of my visibility as well, so visibility is not great, especially with the blind spots that you have over each shoulder. So blind spots in here are probably as bad as the RF hardtop Miata. This has the upgraded JBL sound system, which doesn't sound that great, but it looks really cool with those woofers in the back. Speaking of which, you see those woofers when you lift up the lift gate and you get in the cargo area. No spare tire here. Where the spare tire typically would be in a normal car is replaced with a 12-volt battery. The center screen here doesn't give me Android Auto still here in going into 2023, which is unfortunate. Of course, you have Apple CarPlay here. The steering wheel feels pretty skinny in my hands. I wish it was a little bit thicker, but the steering feel in here is excellent when you throw it in the turns, nice and stiff. Now, I've just been cruising since the beginning of this video. The amazing thing since I've been driving this Supra, kind of like sustained 50 to 60 miles an hour, I'm able to get over 40 miles per gallon with this 4-cylinder turbo, which is absolutely insane. The 8-speed ZF in here is super quick and nonchalant when you're just putting around town. And when you're not pushing it, it rides almost like a sporty luxury vehicle. But when you do push it pedal down, gosh, and the torque is so good. 295 pound-feet of torque and 255 horsepower doesn't sound a lot like on paper, but when you put your foot down and the ZF does that double downshift to get you in the right gear, it is so fun. And like, no, I don't have turns around here. This is about as good as Florida gets here on a straight road. But man, that torque is never going to get old. You get peak torque under 2,000 RPM, and that's the highlight of this engine. Other than its amazing fuel economy, is that torque is just so satisfying. And then this 8-speed is about as good as an automatic transmission could get without being a dual clutch, in my opinion. All right, let's get around this truck here. Oh gosh, and I'm happy with that acceleration. Honestly, like when I drive the 3.0 Supra, it has so much power, so much torque that like I would be doing really dangerous things most of the time. Breaking the speed limit, probably getting onto the gas too early, and that's where like the driving assistants really help out, even with this 2.0. But the 3.0, it is so much power, and yes, it would be amazing with the 6-speed manual. I haven't driven that car yet, and that would, to me, would be the draw. If the 2.0 Supra came in a 6-speed manual, I'd be like, I don't need to have the 3.0, but that 6-speed manual and the 3.0, man, that is a big drawing point. Now, like I said, the 8-speed ZF in here is about as good as an automatic transmission can get. And if you're going to be commuting a lot in this vehicle, then yes, I think the 8-speed is going to be satisfactory for you, and you won't have to, you know, roll through your gears, even though you have auto rev matching and the 6-speed manual. Let's put it into sport mode here. And the vehicle actually handled that really rough terrain extremely well. Gosh. Oh my gosh. It's fine, guys. You don't need more power than this. And 0 to 60, I haven't done a whole lot of runs in it. I did one yesterday. It was 5.59. I heard this can go as fast as 5 flat, but you got to have like perfect road conditions and weather for that to happen. And 5.5 is plenty quick enough for the streets. All right. Traditionally, 4 cylinders don't sound that great, but I'm telling you, it sounds so good. Let's do a little downshift here with the paddle shifters. Paddle shifter, like when you're in sport mode, these paddle shifters and the 8-speed is just so quick, so satisfying. There's third gear. You get pops every once in a while. It's not obnoxious like the Elantra N or something like that, but god dang. You hear little gurgles every once in a while, and it's just enough to bring an extra smile to your face. Let's use these paddle shifters. You can also use the shifter here, push it into manual mode. A little gurgle. Yes, I love it. Not quite as satisfying, let's say, as like an LC500 when you hit that downshifter, but man, it still sounds good here. It's just so much torque and power whenever you need it. Honestly, guys, 2.0 Supra, totally worth saving 10 grand instead of the 3-liter, unless you need that manual. And Toyota, man, I wish you would bring that manual transmission here to the 2.0 as well, but I know it's not really ever going to happen, or at least I'm not going to get my hopes up for it. Cruising at about 50 miles an hour, I feel like the road noise is pretty minimum. The wind noise, I don't hear anything on like buffeting on the mirrors or the A-pillars or anything. So very luxurious sort of ride here in the Supra, which comes as no surprise as it has BMW DNA. And you would think for such a sport-minded vehicle, the ride would be harsh. Not the case. It handles like any bumps in the road really, really well. And maybe it's a part of this having like the 18-inch wheels over the 19-inch wheels. But when I drove the 19-inch wheels and the 3.0, I still felt like it was a very comfortable and like amazing ride, but still giving you all that performance when you want it. I started weaving off the road just a little bit, and the lane keep system in here is very strong. It really will shove you back into your lane unless you're using your blinker, which I think is a good thing. Radar cruise control in here works pretty well. When I was using it yesterday, it was very smooth, keeping up with traffic and also decelerating. One thing that I can gripe on this vehicle is the brakes. So the car stops amazingly well. It shaves off speed very, very quickly. But one of the things about the Supra is that as you decelerate, it starts downshifting, which is great for performance, but it cuts into the predictability of your brake pedal. And then when you come to a complete stop, it's really hard to have a smooth stopping experience. It feels like it kind of slams on the brakes the last 1 to 2 miles an hour, and you kind of dive forward. And then the engine turns off immediately as that happens with the start-stop feature. So it's one of the things with the Supra that I could live with, but it does provide like a pretty jarring experience in stop-and-go traffic, I would say. Maybe it's just I need more time with the vehicle, but it's been tough for me to modulate that. And if this had a 6-speed manual, that would be no problem at all, because then you don't have weird things like the engine turning off all the time, or you know, it downshifting like into first gear under 10 miles an hour and kind of messing up the predictability there. So I'm gonna get on the brakes hard. Yeah, the brake feel when you get on them hard is great. But there's a van behind me, so let's punch it. And these tires still struggle to like lay down the power. So if you think and these are 275s in the back 90s, so if you think you need that 3.0, you absolutely don't, unless you're taking it to the track or something. And even then, this vehicle would be Actually, I've driven this on the track with the 3.0 and the 2.0, and I actually prefer driving this on the track. The power is so much more manageable, and then you don't get, man, just smacked with a wall of torque and power like you get in the inline 6. So 2.0 Supra, I thought it was kind of strange that Toyota brought it to the market, but after driving this vehicle, it's every bit as good as the 3.0, just without the like temptation to lose your license at every stoplight. Like, I can still top out this 255 here, as I'll do in a second, and have a heck of a time. And I'm not going to torque brake it or anything. This is just going to be put it into sport mode here, and when this goes green, pedal down, which is great. Nice solid roll out there. There's 60. Gosh, and this thing will just keeps pulling after 60, no problem. That was 0 to 60 in 5.7. No torque brake, nonchalant, repeatable every single day, and nothing too crazy to get yourself into trouble, like I said. So I think the big question now is, if you want a high performance Toyota and you don't want to spend over 50K, let's say you want to spend in the mid 40s or lower, what do you do? Do you get this 2.0 Supra, or do you get the GR Corolla? Now, I haven't driven the GR Corolla, so I can't like say for sure which way I would go. The 6-speed manual on the GR Corolla would be a big drawing for me, but I know this engine, even though it doesn't have as much power on paper, I think I'd prefer it over the crazy super boosted 1.6 liter 3-cylinder engine. I think this is probably a more stout engine, probably for longevity, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but these engines, as well as the inline 6 in the Supra lineup, have proven themselves to be super stout and robust and reliable setups. And this 8-speed, man, it's so good. If this had a 6-speed manual, I would probably pick this every single time over the GR Corolla, given they're about the same price. There's too many good choices now. It's crazy that you have so much amazing choice, and then you also have the budget option of the GR86 at the bottom end of the GR lineup here in North America. So, man, what an amazing time to be living in if you are a Japanese car enthusiast. Not only do you have the offerings from Toyota, and a bunch of them, but you have the WRX from Subaru. You have the SI and Type R from Honda, and now you have the Integra 6-speed manual, and then you're also going to have the Integra Type S coming. And yes, I'm probably forgetting. Yeah, you also have the Z. How could I forget the Z? So just an amazing time to be living if you enjoy gasoline-powered performance vehicles. But I'm going to catch you guys in the next ones. I have the most fun throwing this in the turn as I can here in Florida there. Thank you for watching. Which one you would be picking? Which Japanese car are you picking? Which out of the Toyota lineup are you picking? GR Corolla, 2.0 Supra. Can't go wrong with either, in my opinion. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for more news updates. And the big one coming will be the Integra Type S. That's probably the next performance Japanese car coming down the hatch that I'll have here on the channel. Also, check out my second channel if you like electrified news, quirky cars. Check it out. Thank you guys again. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Peace.